morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all. Myself, Vaibhav. In today's session of Visual JForex, we will be completing the algorithm involving the indicator triple exponential moving average, which can be shortened to TRIX. This is the third and final part of this series. So let us now get started. We head to the Visual JForex board, which has been developed by the Dukascopy Bank SA. In prior two sessions, this setup was completed to the extent of buy side, and now in today's session we have to add the sell side requirements, the conditions which need to be fulfilled by the price action for any trade to take place using this algorithm, which is of course revolving around the indicator tricks. And now we will have to start the day with the calculations. I guess on the lower side we have the buy order defined, and for the sale trade to execute, certain conditions need to be in place. I will give you a brief refresher on the JForex charts, and then we will start defining those conditions. For any sale trade to take place, we need the TRIX indicator to be in decline. It should have started to decline. So what we are doing is we are taking the last hour's TRIX output value, and that output should be lower than the TRIX output 5 hours back. And prior to that, it should have been rising. So we again go back in time and compare the output 5 hours back to the output 10 hours back, and it should be higher. So we are using three TRIX values at different time points. We are comparing these values, and a nice smooth curve should be forming. That will be indicative of the fact that underlying momentum is now turning bearish, and this might be the appropriate time to get involved for a short sell trade. And along with this, we also need enough of momentum, enough of volatility, and to make sure that is the case, we will be taking the high and the low value of last 5 hours. We will take the difference, and the difference should be more than 20 pips. So we are adding this condition. The last hourly candle should have, of course, closed lower, and to place the order, what we will do is we take the highest of the last 5 hours, and we take the closing value of the last hourly candle, and we calculate the difference in between, and we take the half of it and add it to the last tick price, or you can even add it to the last hour's candle closing price, and place the order, or simply go for the market execution whenever the price starts to drop after reaching that price point. So we can go about this in multiple ways, but to keep it simple, I will be simply using the open at market trade command this time. So we now head back to the Visual JForex board, and let me check what calculations are already in place. We have already defined this 20 pips requirement. Now we will need to consider the difference between the last hour's closing value and the high of the 5 hours. HLV is our 5 hours data array, and we have to take its high and deduct last hour closing value from it. I will take mathematical component, calculation expression, HLV high, and candle 19's closing value. It is going to be A1, minus A2 this will be sale execution difference, so I will name it as CD. I will disconnect this flow and join it here. And now we have to divide this difference to the half. So we will need to multiply it by HDF, which has a value of 0.5. Here you can see. So one more calculation expression block. Here it comes, and multiplied by HDF. Okay, so it becomes A1 into A2 . I will name it SSE, and we have to add these to the last hour candle close. So again, one more calculation expression block. A1 plus A2 . So this is going to be our execution point for the trade to take place, provided all other conditions are in place. Okay. So I think now we can start adding the if blocks to define the conditions, logical components, if else. I will take 6 of these. Our setup is going to be symmetric. We had used 6 blocks for defining the buy conditions. So obviously the number of if blocks needed is going to be the same this time around as well. And first thing we have to check is to make sure this value TRIX output is below the output value 5 hours back. So first input less than second input, and after that we have to check the TRIX output 5 hours back with the output 10 hours back, and it should have been rising. So first input greater than second input. Alright. And then we also have to consider the price action, and candle 19's closing level should be lower than its opening value. So we have to take candle 19's opening and closing values. Close and open. We will need first input less than second input. And added condition of volatility. So we are going to need the HLV's high and low difference to be more than 20 pips. So we have to compare this value with TP, and HLD needs to be higher than TP. First input greater than second input. So with this we have defined the conditions. Let me check one more time if it is symmetric or not. And as I see it is, all we now need to do is get the price point and draw the comparison of two 10-second candles. And for order execution, the price point is this one. And we take it as a second input in both of these if blocks. Candle 20 and candle 21. Candle 21 should have closed higher. First input greater than second input, and after that the candle 20, which has a look back period of 1, it should close lower, and at that point the order will take place, order will be placed. Now it's time to bring in the trade command block. Open at market. Sell first input less than second input. Lot amount is going to be 0.1 million. Slippage is going to be 2 pips. Stop loss 15 pips. And take profit 30 pips. So our setup is almost complete. Now I will get this block on the lower side and join it to the multiple action, and multiple action block will need to be joined to the last calculation expression block to get the flow going. So this is the way it is. Okay. And with this we have completed the setup, and as you can see, till the very last block of the trade command we have this color coded line running through, which means the trade iteration flow is going through till the very end. And with this our session is also coming to an end, and I hope you have been able to understand the logic and the execution part of this algorithm, and hopefully you will be trying it out on your own, and then you can run the test on the historical data on JForex platform, and if it is profitable you can start using it on your live or demo account. So that's it from my side, and before I sign off I would also like to remind that you can follow our page, the Dukascopy Analytics page, for which the links have been provided. And also, we are available on the Facebook. You can join us there. And thank you all for joining in. See you next time. Till then, goodbye.